What is up, my butter biscuits? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about MAC Cosmetics again. This video just makes me sad. Like, honestly, y'all, it trips me out to see the route that MAC is going, and I'm looking over here at them like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is going on with the brand? Who is the creative director? Because they are just losing it. If you guys do not remember, if you guys did not see, I created a video last year titled The Rise and the Fall of MAC Cosmetics, because I truly feel like they are a falling brand, and I think that that sucks because no matter what you think about the brand is truly legendary, iconic. They are the blueprint for so many makeup brands out there on the market. Look at Morphe. I feel like Morphe is a perfect example of this. Their whole entire aesthetic literally embodies MAC, and MAC did it first. They created it first. They're really just, they're just so iconic, and to see them just go downhill every single year, just down and down and down, it's really, really sad because MAC, no matter what, holds a special place in my heart. I worked there for almost 8 years. I had some of the best moments of my life there. As a makeup artist, that's where I learned the most. So MAC to me just is always going to be just very special. You know what I'm saying? And even though the brand is dying, I don't see anybody talking about them anymore. And honestly, y'all, the collections that they're coming out with and the palettes that they're coming out with, like in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Sims palette. I'm over here just like, what is going on with you guys? No matter what, I still love the brand and I have hope for them. I hope that they can just like get a new creative director and kind of just like pick up where they left off and become that trend-setting brand once again, because honestly, y'all, if you guys cannot tell by now, MAC is pretty much a trend-following brand. I don't see them doing anything iconic and revolutionary like they once used to. And honestly, I feel like they literally ruled the game in the like late 80s, early 90s, going into the early 2000s. Even up until maybe like 5 years ago, they were the #1 brand, and now they are just falling off. And this Sims palette, y'all, I'm looking at it, I'm sitting over here like, MAC, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? This palette is absolutely horrendous. It has everyone talking online right now, and I think maybe this could be a good thing for them, because maybe it's in a weird way like reviving the brand, because no one talks about the brand anymore. However, I will always say, some of MAC products will literally always be my favorite. I don't care what. They literally create such amazing products. And I was actually recently watching a video, and I see a lot of people always praising Fenty, you know, for their new foundation, by the way, which I will be doing a review of that. I actually just picked it up today. However, this person was doing a review of the Fenty foundation and said, no other brand has ever done this, come out with 50 shades of a foundation form of powder. And I'm like, y'all, MAC Studio Fix literally has 53 shades, and they have been inclusive with their shade range forever. Like, literally, I remember being there when I was 16 years old, and y'all, they had all these shades way back then, and they were extremely inclusive back then, and they just don't get the credit that they deserve. And I think it's because they're falling off and just kind of like dwindling out. Their fire is just kind of like going away, and I think that that sucks because, y'all, this brand is literally just iconic, and it makes me sad to see the route that they're going. And honestly, I wish that they would just kind of do something to, like, you know, gain that spark that they once had, because y'all, they just have everything in them, but now they are just following all the trends out there. They are no longer the trendsetter, which, if you guys have been in the MAC industry, if you guys have been in the makeup industry for a period of time, y'all would know MAC was literally #1. Like, there was no other brand that compared to them. They were #1 for the longest period of time, and here they are, and nobody talks about them anymore. I feel like Colourpop literally gets more praise and gets more clout and more attention and more purchases than MAC, and I think that that really, really sucks because MAC is just so legendary. I feel like I've already said that 5 times, but I'm going to say it 10 more times within this video, just letting you guys know. So anyways, today's video is a makeup talk video. If y'all are interested in that, go ahead and keep on watching. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that way you get notified when I upload a new video. Make sure y'all give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, and let's go to get into it. All right, y'all, before we get into the roast of the Sims palette, and I'm just playing, kind of not really, you know what, let me just keep it real. It probably will be a roast of the Sims palette, but before we get into that, I did want to talk about some of the iconic collections that MAC has come out with, because I really feel like this day and age, people really forgot how iconic and legendary and like trend-setting MAC really was, and they came out with some of the most just absurd collections that really brought people into the counter to just purchase everything, because it was something undone by so many other companies out there. And everybody this day and age, I feel like they look at Colourpop to be like the collaboration queen, when realistically, I feel like that goes to MAC, because they were the first ones that set this out there. No other brand during the MAC era was doing collaborations like this. MAC was literally working with designers, fashion designers, with artists, musical artists, celebrities, movies, Disney. They were really the first one to be doing all this stuff. And this day and age, I feel like everybody looks at Colourpop, and I'm over here like, oh, what about MAC? Like, honestly, y'all, MAC has just dwindled out that everyone forgets forgot that they came out with the most iconic collections. So I did want to talk about this because I feel like it is very necessary. And honestly, y'all, I'm hoping at the end of this that maybe MAC can like hire a new, product developer, a new design team to basically come out with new revolutionary iconic collections like they once used to. So let's go ahead and dive into this. There's no chronological order to this. I just kind of took screenshots of the collections that I personally thought were the most iconic, as well as the ones that actually sold the most, because I know that from working there. But I want to go ahead and talk about Heatherette, because this was a collection right here when I want to say I was like 16 during the time that this came out, and I saw this collection and I was like, whoa. I thought it was just so out there. It was so different. It was just so vibrant, No other brands were doing things like this. And I know you guys look at this and you guys are probably like, oh my God, Jeffree Star. But look at this. This aesthetic was so MAC, to do something so vibrant, so bold, and just really daring, because every other makeup counter out there was just a little bit boring. Let's keep it real. Like if you look at Lancome, you look at Estee Lauder, even though yes, now Estee Lauder owns MAC, but during this time, they just had really boring makeup, They had some foundations, some blushes, some, pencil eyeliners, things like that. However, MAC was truly the iconic brand doing daring packaging, vibrant colors. Look at the eyeshadows right here. We have that bright teal, the bright pink, and then looking at the lipsticks, it was just like, bam. No other brand was doing this. And I feel like if y'all know MAC, you guys know Heatherette. Heatherette was just, it was so iconic. And I really, really wish that I was able to get my hands on this. However, during the time I was so broke because I was a teen. And on top of that too, I was like hiding myself from my parents that I was like into makeup, that I was like, oh my God, I want that Heatherette collection so bad. You know what's really crazy? I believe it was like 5 or 6 years ago, one of my MAC coworkers literally still had her Heatherette compact because she loved that compact so much, and she would just what was it called? Depop? Oh my gosh, is that what it's called? I don't know. It's basically where you pop out the pan, depan it. Why am I getting Depop? Anyway, she would depan it and then put her, blush in there, her highlighter in there, whatever. She kept it for years, and I'm like, dang girl, that is like literally 15 years old. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into right here into the Marilyn Monroe collection. If y'all know MAC, you guys know this collection, and I want to point this out that look how iconic and clean and just beautiful this is. No other brand was doing anything like this. And actually during this time, the Marilyn Monroe collection was the highest selling collection at MAC. And I think up until Selena, however, I don't really know if we got the numbers in with Selena, if Selena ended up passing the sales of Marilyn Monroe. However, Marilyn Monroe was literally the highest selling collection. And just look how beautiful this is, how simple, how clean, how just, it's just so gorgeous. And there was just so many Marilyn Monroe lovers who wanted this collection, and I just look at it and I'm like, y'all, it is just truly beautiful. I just feel like it's just so timeless, and it just goes with MAC, and their collections were so well thought out and so beautiful. And I want to emphasize on well thought out, because going into the Sims palette, it's like, what? Like looking at that palette, it's like, what is going on with that palette? And you look at this Marilyn Monroe collection and you're like, wow, this just makes sense. The packaging is so beautiful. Look at all the poses that she has on all the different products right here. The lip colors were speaking obviously directly to Marilyn because they were everything that she wore. It just made sense. Let's go ahead and go into the Selena collection right here, because this one, I'm sure you guys all know, this was like so huge. When I was working at MAC, y'all, I had an opening shift. I believe I was starting at 10 a.m. and I had to come in at like 9:30 or something like this. And I was pulling up to the Macy's, y'all, because I worked at the counter at Macy's. And I was like, oh my God, this is the line for the Selena collection. It was a trip, y'all. It literally wrapped outside. It went down like 2 stores, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But the reason why I think that is because Selena was legendary and iconic, or she is legendary and iconic, and so was MAC. So it just really made sense that MAC would do a collaboration with Selena, because they were just two icons, MAC was, no matter what you say, because I know a lot of people this day and age like to bash MAC or whatever, MAC was the most iconic brand, and obviously Selena's family wanted to work with MAC because they're so iconic. And you look at this collection and just like, oh my gosh, how beautiful. Both of them, actually, the first and the second, just stunning, literally just so beautiful. And they literally just embodied everything Selena was. It just definitely was her aesthetic. If you guys look at old pictures of her, these are the colors that she would have worn. And I just want to keep on emphasizing this within MAC, that I'm just kind of like, where have they gotten to this point to where things don't make sense at all? Because if you look back on their past collections, they literally just made perfect sense. It just fit. And now I do know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, well, why does it need to make sense? And it's like, because you're doing a collaboration with, whether it be a video game or a celebrity or, you know, a movie, you obviously think of that movie and it's just kind of like, you know, I'm gonna go with that, you know. It's kind of like, you know, if you think about old school Jeffree Star, let's just say this because he's in the makeup world, and y'all know he was just all about pink, 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 pink. And then imagine him coming out with kind of like a nude palette, like literally just no shimmer, all nudes, like warm tones, that's it. It just doesn't make sense, right? You would be like, okay, Jeffree, where's the pinks, you know? That's how I feel like with MAC. It just kind of made sense. Everything went. Another thing that I want to mention, and I want to talk about this because I feel like this day and age, everyone looks at Colourpop. You know, Colourpop is the like iconic brand of doing collaborations. And let's talk about this because this right here was the Venomous Villains collection, which by the way, I thought was so cool when I was working there. This was just so beautiful. And we did have so many Disney collectors coming in to purchase these pieces to put up in their collection. And this right here, I want to talk about a product which I probably should like find the name of it, but there was a magic cooling powder that I believe was the doctor, what's his name, like Dr. Facilier or something. I don't know his name honestly, y'all, but he's the like witch doctor there in the corner. MAC had came out with a powder during this collection that was like a magic cooling powder to where you would touch it and it would feel wet, but then when you set it on the skin, it was just so beautiful as a setting powder or a touch-up powder. They were doing revolutionary products. Like when I felt this product, I was like, what? I have never felt anything like this out there on the market. There's nothing like this. And then it's just kind of like what happened this day and age. You know what I'm saying? They were so revolutionary with their products and formulas, and then now it's just kind of like everyone has them beat and everyone is doing everything better than them and way ahead of them. And now MAC is following the trends, which is a trip to me because look at this collection though. Honestly, y'all, I feel like it was just so cool. And then when you look at Colourpop's collections now, it's like, wow, Colourpop is like way more affordable. Their packaging and their designs of everything is so beautiful, super affordable, obviously, that everyone can get in on. And then it's just kind of like, MAC, get it together, you know. This is another one right here that I did want to mention was the Wonder Woman collection because I thought this was so cool. Being a DC and Marvel lover, I absolutely love this because they were like literally the first ones to do this, you know. And you think of Wonder Woman, obviously she's glamorous, she's stunning, she's beautiful. It just obviously made sense to go in with MAC to do a collaboration with Wonder Woman. And honestly, I'm looking at them now and I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if they kind of did like a Mystique collection? Wouldn't that be cool? Because I love Mystique and I feel like, I know she's not DC, she's Marvel, but wouldn't it be amazing for her to do a collaboration with MAC? You know what I'm saying? Only because when I look at Mystique, I'm like, okay, y'all, she is beautiful. Or maybe if they did like a X-Men like woman version, I don't know, collaboration, I just feel like it would be really cool. Anyways, looking back at these collections, it's just so bomb, y'all. Like, look at the packaging. It's just, it was something that wasn't done at the time, you know? And then now I feel like MAC is just dwindling out. Let's go into the next one right here because this one was actually another super iconic one that everyone loved, which was the Barbie Collection. And I think the reason why everyone loved this is because the Barbie Collection just speaks to so many girls out there. Obviously, Barbie has been a staple in so many people's lives. People collect Barbie dolls. Like, y'all, I got a cousin who literally has a room full of Barbie dolls, like from like 50 years ago. I don't know how many years honestly Barbie has been out, but like since the beginning. And I guess she has some of these Barbies that are like worth thousands of dollars, and I'm like, y'all, I didn't even know that Barbie was that big of a thing. But that's obviously why MAC did a collaboration or a collection with them. And look at this. I just feel like it's just so simple yet so beautiful, and it's like so MAC, you know what I'm saying? You have that pop of Barbie, but then you still have the MAC staple component in there, and I feel like it's just so beautiful, you know. And then let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and talk about the Riri Loves a MAC collection because y'all, this was another iconic one out there that had everyone talking because during this time, and I believe this was pretty, well, like kind of recent, like what was this, like 6 or 7 years ago? I forget how long I was working at MAC during this point when this had came out, but this had everyone like running to the counters because everyone loves Rihanna, and so many other makeup brands were not doing collections with, you know, celebrities, and here they are doing this collection with Rihanna that they actually ended up doing 2 Viva Glams with Rihanna as well too. Those, by the way, y'all, I still have them. They are so beautiful, and the colors have never been done before, and I still haven't found a color like the Rihanna the second one. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this. This is the collection right here, and honestly, the packaging is just stunning, beautiful, so unique, something so different, you know, and it's definitely Rihanna. this day and age, I feel like it is a little bit hard for them to do collaborations with, you know, celebrities, because every celebrity is coming out with their own makeup brand. However, they can work with influencers. Like I mentioned it before, and I mentioned it within my rise and fall video of MAC. And as I said, you know what? They really need to do more collaborations with influencers, because the Patrick Star collection was amazing. Everyone loved it. And that was the first time in a long time that I seen people lining up to purchase that, y'all. And they just kind of fell off with that. But anyways, the last one that I want to talk about here before we get into the Sims palette, y'all, oh my gosh, is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This to me was just so iconic yet again. You look at this and it's just so beautiful, because if you're a Rocky Horror Picture Show lover, look at the lip colors. It just makes sense. They obviously flow with the movie. The eyeshadow palette, you can literally recreate every makeup look from the Rocky Horror Picture Show within those palettes. So I just want to point that out again. And I know that I feel like I'm just kind of like repeating myself with it made sense, is because let's go ahead and get into this Sims palette right here, y'all. This is it. And I honestly am just so tripped out. And like, what is MAC thinking? Okay, first of all, the packaging is just the normal standard you know, palette right here, and I'm like, what is going on with that? Because MAC obviously used to, as you've seen within these collections, would do something a little bit different, and this is just blah. And they literally just changed the sleeve that covers it, which most everybody throws away. So I just don't understand it. But let's go ahead and get into the color story of this Sims palette. It is just, honestly, looking at this, if you guys were to say with no label on it, like what brand created this, I would immediately say Too Faced. This looks like a Too Faced palette, very bland, very dull, just very you know what I'm saying? Y'all, sorry I look so busted right now, but I'm sitting here on my couch editing this video, and honestly, I was looking more at the palette, and I was like, you know what? This looks super familiar. I know that MAC has done this before. So I went on over to Google and I typed in the ×9 palettes, because that's what these little mini palettes are called. And then, sure enough, it comes out that this is actually the Solar Glow palette. And y'all, they did not even change the names to match with the Sims. They literally just threw a Sims packaging over this. Like, honestly, head on over to Google, and this is the names right here from Google of the Solar Glow palette: Moon Rock, Sugared, Quarry, Lunar Cycle. Literally 100% the Solar Glow palette. They just threw a Sims packaging on top of it. And I just wanted to throw this in the video because I'm like, what is happening at MAC that they don't put any effort into anything? And I do want to note that MAC does do this whenever they come out with any type of like limited edition collections or collaborations. Like, say for example, like with Marilyn Monroe, there was repeat products. However, they just put a different packaging to it. And that's the thing with this, is that it's literally the Solar Glow palette. There's nothing that's saying it's the Sims on the actual palette, just the sleeve. So they literally put a Sims packaging on it over the Solar Glow palette and said, okay, we're gonna call this the Sims palette. And I'm just so tripped out by this, because I'm like, what is happening at MAC? Like, they're literally not putting in any effort whatsoever. It just seems like they had a little bit of a surplus of the Solar Glow palette, and we're like, okay, we're gonna call this the Sims palette. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, I just wanted to throw that in this video because I'm like, what is happening over there? It's just such a trip to me. But anyways, y'all, go to get back to the video. I just don't get it. I just really don't get it. And looking at this, I'm like, what? Honestly, y'all, I don't know too much about The Sims because I have not played since I was like 19, and that was like 11 years ago. I just feel like they could have done so much more with The Sims because there's so many different things that you can do within that game. And it's just like, what is going on over here, you know? And on top of that too, look at the packaging, because I don't know if you guys have seen recently, Colourpop had just came out with, oh my gosh, I keep calling it Farmville, Animal Crossing. Like, literally in my head, I know that Animal Crossing game as Farmville, but it's not. And I need to get that together. But anyways, look at that collection with Colourpop versus this Sims collection. It's like, what is this? It's just so dull, so bland, so boring, just so dry, you know? Anyways, I want to go ahead and talk about this because this actually has everyone over on Twitter just roasting the palette because it's so horrible, which in return, I want to say it could definitely be a good thing for MAC. Maybe this is going to revive the brand because they're just dying out, and this is getting people talking about the brand, whether it's good or bad. Hey, you're still getting publicity, and maybe it's going to bring back the brand, and maybe in the spring, maybe in the summer, they're going to come out with another revolutionary, iconic collection. I'm really hoping, because I just love MAC so much. I want to see them succeed because they were such a important part of my life and my career, you know? Without MAC, I don't even know where I would be. Like, honestly, straight up, I know that sounds like really corny, but that was my whole goal in life, to be a MAC artist. And as soon as I became a MAC artist, I learned so much. Like, I would never work there again, ever, 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 but I learned so much, y'all, and I am so thankful for that, and I still love the brand. So anyways, this is James Welsh right here, and yes, he does do skincare, but he still even had to chime in on it and say, now, I don't know anything about makeup, but MAC launched the Sims palette, and this is all they could come up with. which is exactly it. That was my thoughts exactly. I was like, The Sims, and it's coming out with this? Like, what? Going on into this, this is Samantha Ravendall right here. It said, Mac really used to be that brand. And now, dot, 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 who is behind all these boring launches? And that's what I say. I'm like, who is their creative director? I just genuinely do not understand what is the thought process of going into Mac. Like, look at all those collections that I literally spent like how long showing you guys. Look at all those collections right there. And then you look at this and it's like, okay, clearly they made some budget cuts, y'all. They used to have some really, really bomb designers on board. They used to have some really bomb product development on board, some really amazing creative director, and now it's just falling off. And these launches are just, they're making me sad, y'all. They're really making me sad. Anyways, Robert Welsh responded to that too and said, imagine all the things that you could have done with a Sims collaboration. What a waste. And I 100% agree. I think that they could have done something so much better. Like, even with the packaging, y'all, they could have put little Sims characters on there. They could have done something so much more. And this to me just literally looks like, oh, let's just print up these Sim sleeves and throw it on there and call it a Sims palette. And it's like, what is going on? Honestly, at this point, it makes me sad to say this, but I genuinely look at MAC as being kind of like a core product brand, and that is it. I don't see them being revolutionary and iconic anymore. I feel like people go there literally for their core staple products, and that is it. Whether it be their, Studio Fix liquid foundation or their Studio Fix powder foundation, or maybe their MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, I feel like those are products right there that are keeping them afloat. If they did not have those core staple products, I don't think that they would be even out there. I feel like they would have filed for bankruptcy at this point, because they are just going down and down and down, and so many people are just switching to other brands. And I think that that sucks, because I don't know, I just have so much love for MAC, because I do feel like they are just so inclusive, and they're just so iconic. I know I said that 50 times within this video, but they really are, and they have it within them to be the #1 brand within the entire world, because at one point they were. And it just sucks that they're falling off because their lack of excitement. The brand literally has no spark anymore, and it makes me so sad. I look at them and I'm like, MAC, y'all were so amazing. You guys had literally the most iconic collections and products, and what is going on? There are some things though, if you guys are wondering, within MAC that I can just never go away from, and that's a MAC Studio Fix powder. That is like literally one of my all-time favorite products. Yes, this day and age, I literally only wear the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. I feel like that one is so much better than MAC Studio Fix. However, I always said it, and I know I said this in multiple videos, but the MAC Studio Fix powder has such a special place within my heart, because it was my first ever makeup product purchase. I was 16 years old, going up to the MAC counter and getting color matched for that, and I will forever remember that product, and that's why MAC is so special to me. And I just think that I literally got goosebumps, y'all. It just sucks to see MAC just failing, and I really wish that they could get on board. I genuinely think that if they got on board with some influencers, they could create some amazing products and collections and do collaborations with other people out there, but they're just lacking. Anyways, y'all, let me know if you guys plan on buying this Sims palette, because I am genuinely curious. Like, be straight up. Don't feel like people are going to roast you in the comment section. Okay, let me just be real. They probably will roast you, but just let me know if you're going to purchase this, because I want to know what you see in this. Because honestly, as a makeup artist, I look at this and I'm like, it's just so bland. It's so dull. It's so boring. This 100% will be on my anti-haul. Like, this is just... and it makes me sad. Like, I just feel like it's time and time again, MAC is just going to keep on ending up on my anti-haul because of the products that they're coming out with. But anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything as far as the Sims palette, as well as MAC, and where you see them going, because I genuinely hope that they can do better, and I really hope that they can regain that spark that they once had, but I don't know about that happening. But anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on that, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.